the Broncos and the Roosters, mate. Where do you want to start with that? You want to start with the officiating?
Bro, it was a pretty that was a high intensity game, man. I thought it was the Roosters, bro. They were on fire, bro. And surprisingly, I think both teams did enough to had enough ball, had enough opportunities to ice the game. But when it came down to the moments, this new fella, the half who was doing his kicking, Hugo Savala, man. And that last quarter of that second half, Raz, he was pinning those corners. He was putting the boot up from like halfway and landing it, and landing it like with chasers, if not competing for the ball, but giving Walsh nothing. And I want to add there, like, fucking Walsh looks so gay under the high ball at the moment. And he let a few go, and he looked like, bro, that... I've been waiting for him to fucking... And I thought he was slowly building it up again, but he just went back down. He had the worst game of the season so far, bro. And he actually had a couple of moments there where he cost... I don't want to say cost us the game, but it just put a lot of pressure on his team, bro. Whereas, like, you know, sometimes you just want... Catch the ball and fucking run him back to the middle and get smashed on the 20-meter line rather than... catch the ball, fucking fart around, step, get tackled just on the fucking try line, and then Shibasaki's got fucking hospital passes coming out of trouble. And that's where it's at, bro. Like, and you know what? The Broncos look vulnerable when Hunt and Reynolds aren't on top of their game. If they're not having a blinder with the kicks, it just goes to show how important the finish to your sets were, man. But even so, I just thought that Roosters probably deserved that game a bit better than the Bronx. They'll always be in a game because they've got game breakers, but I don't think they muscled up enough, bro. I think that the Roosters came with that mentality. You know, we got smashed in that first round. We're not going to let you do that again. And what's his name? Haas had a quiet game.
Man, they did a good job of keeping
marked up on Haas. And when I say quiet game, you know, his quiet game is a normal game for other props, but we just used to seeing him do 200 meters plus, but he still ran over 100 meters. Him and Carrigan, I just thought the forwards did enough, but the finishing to the sets wasn't good, and defensively we were poor. Man, Walsh has got to sort his shit out, bro, because now his mistakes, and he looks unfit, bro. He's always looking like he's just ran a marathon, bro. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't do as much work as you see these other fullbacks doing, man. And he was called out. There was one that really pissed me off. It was a simple, I think it was Nat Butcher or Billy Smith. Might have been Billy Smith. Third tackle.
Billy Smith was a beast in that game, though.
Fuck, yeah. And Billy Smith, one-on-one in the air for one of his tries, first try. But the second try, was the grubber in. And third tackle, Walsh got caught, and he does this a lot. And I think a few fullbacks do this. It was at the fucking first defender, man. And then so it was easy money for the grubber from Teddy to get it through. But I just don't understand, like, why fullbacks doing that now. Like, sorry, tell your front line to get in position. It's the fullback's job to fucking watch the back. Watch these grubbers, bro. And the good fullbacks will cover their A defender and then bust their ass to get to the back. And he just wasn't in position, bro. He wasn't, and he didn't take fucking catches on the full where he should have. And now it's becoming a detriment to the team, bro. So he definitely not in the running. I think that number one Queensland jersey is Pongers at the moment. But yeah, not a big you know what's going on with the Broncos at the moment, because you know they got the stars. More like Roosters just showed what they can do, bro. And with Savala there, they're looking like a good team, man. Teddy's playing fucking awesome, but they're tough, bro. They're tough. Yeah. Bobby Stace, you want to throw some shade at me or what?
Anyone watch this game?
Or Reece Walsh comment. Like, I noticed this about Reece probably last year, the year before last, probably last year actually, when Broncos had that slide, and I kept referring to it. He just lacks that maturity, man. Like, Keanu Kinney is younger than him, but plays with such maturity. Like, he's got X factor, but he also knows when to insert himself into the game. But otherwise, he's playing what he's meant to be doing as a fullback. That's your bread and butter fullback shit. And then you can do all your X factor, amazing stuff on top of that. The thing with Reece Walsh, which side points out, is that some of the bread and butter fullback stuff he doesn't actually do very well. And it kind of reminds me of when Latrell was bitching about wanting to be a fullback when he exited from Sydney and then went to Souths. And he was the most laziest fullback I've ever seen. Like, wouldn't run the ball back, wouldn't chase across when last defensive line. Like, these are all things that I'm starting to see in Reece Walsh's game. Not to that extent, but more to the fact that he gets super emotional when he does mistakes, and then he just dwells on that shit. Like that Billy Smith try where he just plucked the ball out of Reece Walsh's face and scored that first try for the Roosters. I was thinking, that is bread and butter shit. Sal Cobo was there providing the screen. You should have at least turned your body or something towards the player coming to snatch the ball. Instead, he's like full front on, and then Billy Smith just... It was
he wasn't even in position. Even if Billy Smith wasn't there, it didn't look like he was in a position to catch it anyway, bro. He looked a bit off.
Yeah, like Reece had a mixed bag, and I don't know what Madge needs to do. You should probably drop him, I reckon, to give him a rocket up his ass to play better. Yeah, I don't know. The Broncos, maybe they were a bit guilty of going into this game thinking it was going to be like their round one win against the Roosters, because they pumped them in that first game, like 50 points. And then they came into this one, and they looked underdone, man. I was thinking, wow. It was chalk and cheese.
They're playing with talent, but not playing with grind, eh?
Nah, yeah, you're right. Like even Kerrigan ran the ball more and had more hit-ups than Payne Haas in that game, which is interesting. Like, he had like 154, like only slightly to 148 or something over Payne. But it's stuff like that. It's, yes, Payne Haas, because it's expected of you. And then when he doesn't perform to the 200 meters, there's no one else there to pick up the slack. And I highlighted this last year when Reynolds got injured and Kerrigan was the stand-in captain. And they kind of looked rudderless, like they didn't know what to do. They've got all of their stars there now, but now it's like with the introduction of Hunt, there's maybe too much experience there now, and they don't know how to sort of work with each other. I've seen reports during the week that, Reece Walsh can't work too well with Ben Hunt or something or other. And I was thinking, you don't really see it, but maybe there are little things that Ben Hunt does that maybe Reece hasn't quite switched on to. I know him and Mam used to...
Got out your nose, mate. Got out your nose.
Yeah,
it could be timing though. Yeah, because I guess he's used to working with Mam.
They come out with that shit.
It's just like a touch faster when he's working with Mam, so maybe it's just putting their timing up.
Yeah, well, for these old halves. Ben Hunt's always going to be slower than Mam. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that from Reece Walsh. I thought he might slip downhill a bit, which is why I'm glad we got rid of them from the Warriors. Once he went to the Broncos, he had that one great year first. Once he left the Warriors,
he's showing that
it was his Warriors skills that he brought to. Once he's got rid of the Warriors skills, got the Broncos stuff, downhill, mate.
He's trying to find a way out. He wants the Broncos to drop him. He's going to come back. He's doing this. I heard Chance is leaving. Let's get out of this contract. Let me play Gaia for a few weeks. Funniest thing I saw out of that game, though, was that Crichton on Reynolds, that throat, when he got him in the throat. But then after that, it was like, they just gave him a warning. And then later on, Crichton runs straight at him, does it again. And Reynolds trying to call the touchdown. And Crichton just comes up and gives him the fingers. And Reynolds gives him the fingers back. Yeah. So that's great.
Crichton does that a bit, man. He's lucky he didn't...
his bumper
I think Reynolds at that perfect height to give him
and Reed Marnie just straight in the throat. Yeah.